Hi Remax. So I wanted to share with you what we plan, not just for this year, but really over the next few years. Now, if you've come to any of our sales rallies, you would have heard me say this. If you haven't been to one, well, you can hear it for the first time. But one of the things that we said we wanted to achieve as a company, as a group, is to achieve a 25% market share nationally by 2025. So 25 by 25, 25% market share by 2025. And we did roadshows around the country and we spoke about it. We also said that, look, if we got to 25% market share, that would probably equate to the group being of a size of around 4,000 sales associates countrywide. And I think most people bought into the concept. But here's the thing. I'm not sure how many people can relate to 25% market share. I get it. I get to access Lightstone numbers and I can do comparisons and so on, but I would just wonder whether our sales associates, some of our brokers, and certainly our admin staff, and even the people in this building where I'm at, understand how they fit into that 25% and how they make it show up. So we thought to ourselves, well, let's put it in a language that everybody understands. And the language that's common to everyone is commission, right? So agents understand commission, brokers understand commission, we understand it. It's a rand value and it's easy to determine. So what we said was, and I'm not going to get into the boring math of how we got there, but essentially, if we get to 2025, and assuming that we've reached 25% market share, this is what it'll look like in commission. R2.4 billion in 2025. Now, to give you some perspective, in 2017 or 2016 rather, we earned as a group, which went through agents' pockets and into agents' pockets, 1.1 billion rand. In fact, to be specific, 1.14 billion rand. So what does that mean? It means that we'll have to double up in the next 7 years. But that's this big out there goal, and you're probably thinking to yourself, well, how do I get there? Well, let me just reel it in and rewind a little bit. We refer to this as a WIG, not this thing. A WIG is a wildly important goal. It's a thing that gets put out there as something that has to be achieved, that we have to fight for, that we have to work towards. And the reason I want this to show up, and the reason we want this to show up, is because this is your money. This is not related to me, it's not related to this building, it's agent commissions. We want that number, 2.4 billion rand in commission, to show up in agents' pockets in 2025. So let me write that there, 2025. 2.4 billion by 2025. Now that's all good and well, but one has to have a few strategies in place to actually achieve that. And when it gets down to office level, that's going to be unpacked even further. I mean, we're working with your broker owners to help them achieve their goals, which very much will align with what yours are. So if I had to split that into two categories, how do we get there? Well, there's two things that we believe that we'd have to focus on. And let's look at it year by year. This year, what we need to try and achieve is to increase, right, commission to 1.4 billion for the year. So increase So if we get to 1.4 billion rand, remember last year we did 1.4 billion rand by the end of 2017, we can effectively tick that box and say that we're on the way to reaching this target in 7 to 8 years time. And if I had to strip that down a little bit further, because that's just really an overarching goal, what do we do? Well, that's where your brokers and your managers are gonna work with you. You know, maybe it's strategies like, well, how do we increase the commission rate that we charge in our office from X to Y? How do we increase it from, for argument's sake, 5% to 5.2? What has to happen? What training must happen? What techniques have to be learned? Do we put a menu of offering in place in our office? Now, I'm not going to get into those details, but those are the sort of things that we need to be discussing at office level, right? Or maybe one of the other strategies to get the commission and to increase every agent's commission in the company is to monitor the number of mandates, or maybe the number of sole mandates. Maybe we need to count what are the number of sole mandates that come in to franchise A every month. Maybe it's the number of sole mandates on average per agent in a franchise every month. Maybe it's the number of new sole mandates, and so on and so on. So these are strategies and techniques and things that you're going to have in your office, and if that is one of them, well, I guess what flows from that is, well, how do we close more of these presentations? How do we get more people to sign on the dotted line as such for us to market their home? What do we do? What do we say? Again, it probably comes back to training, skills, techniques, and those are the things that our business development team will help with, but certainly most of that will be imparted by your broker owners. And that's why we support them wherever we can by providing the training, the tools, and the access to the training material to help you. One of the other ways we could do that is, well, it's all good and well having mandates. Maybe what we need to focus on is reducing the list to sell ratio. In other words, I list today and I sell another day. How do we do that? How do we close it a little bit sooner? So these are all tactics, strategies that may change down the line, but those are the sort of discussions I think that need to happen at office level if, well, that's going to happen. And I want you to translate that for yourself. And that's why we spoke, and I did a series not too long ago on your goals and your aspirations and what you want and what commission you want to show up. And that's one of the first few questions that I hope that your broker owner is going to ask you, because those are the questions we're asking them. What is it you want to show up as an office at the end of 2017? What is it you want as an office by 2025? And that will filter down to you guys, to agents. So what is it that you want to earn? Why is it that you want to earn that? How are you going to break it down? What are we going to measure? So it's going to get quite specific, not because we want to be the policeman. We really and genuinely want you to help you to earn more money and to help to provide a better environment for your family. So that's one, right? Increase commission to 1.4 billion by the end of this year. What's the other one here? What sits here? Well, we want to increase the commission that our existing agents earn. Specifically, we want to get more of our sales associates earning over 600,000 Rand this year. Now, whether we have people join the company that do that, or whether it's our existing sales associates, but that magic number, we want at least 100 agents that currently earn below that 600,000 mark to start earning more. Again, what do we have to do there? Well, there's a whole bunch of strategies. There's 100 Days to Greatness, there's calls, notes, etc. There's all sorts of things that can happen, and I said I wasn't going to get into the detail, but those are our major wigs. Now, there's a whole lot of other stuff that goes on, and I'm going to talk about that as well when it comes to marketing and technology and training, but really, that's all a support structure to make this happen, to make commissions increase in your pocket, to help agents that aren't earning at that 600,000 Rand level to earn at that level and provide a better environment and provide better for their family. And if we do these things well, and we do them consistently, well, then that shows up automatically. And if that shows up, well, guess what? Then so does that 25% that we spoke about last year. So I wanted to just set the scene for you before I start talking about the marketing team and the events team and training and all that other fun stuff. This is crucial. We're trying to get to 2.4 billion Rand by 2025, which is 25%. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to break it down to this year. We want to increase your commissions to 1.4 billion Rand by the end of this year. And we want to add at least 100 agents in that category of earners who earn over 600,000 commission in a year. So that's our starting point, and I'm going to be explaining to you the team that's going to help to facilitate that and support the broker owners and managers and support staff in your office. Chat soon.